What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff going on, Big Shot Bob. The little 15-minute pre-show meeting we just had. So we're in the
Heck of a pre-show meeting.
Oh, my goodness. Let me just say this. If you've been with us for a while, and by the way, this is episode 244 of the Big Shot Bob podcast. That's B-Dog Brandon Harper. I'm Rob Jenners. That is seven-time NBA champion Robert Horry. If you've been with us for a while, we're like I said, we're by the way, we're 2 weeks away from 5 years. We started the show in January of 2021. Our first show was January 28th of 2021, and it was just me and you, Rob. And then shortly after, Jamie joined us for a while, and then Brandon joined us for a while, and then we kind of settled in with the three of us, and for the last 5 years.
Has it been 5 years?
It has been 5 years. In 2 weeks, we will have crossed our 5-year mark of doing this show. We will sneak up on episode 250 before you know it. So if you've been,
is that why I love you guys now,
dude? That's you've had
5 years.
You've had to deal with our stupid asses every week for 5 years.
No,
you haven't had a
to deal with
choice,
my
man.
dumb ass.
You know what? Let me tell you the funny part about this. I can remember, and I'm gonna see if Jenners remembers this. This was probably, if we started in January of 01, then this must have been the Christmas party of 2021.
Yeah, 21,
this must have been a Christmas party of 2020. Rob came to me at the Christmas party and said, "Hey, there may be opportunity. We can be doing a podcast with Robert Horry." And he said, "I want you on the show." And I said, "When do we start?" And I'll always remember, it had to be the Christmas party of 2020. If we started in January.
Yeah, it must have been.
And so ever since then, here we are. So I shout out to Rob for that.
To the Christmas party.
Well, yeah, you have to get on the plane.
The Christmas party and everything. Your life is a Christmas party. Fuck you.
But no, I bring that up because I've always appreciated Rob for that. Obviously, we were coming off the Shaq podcast, so I had been there for most of that, and for him to want me to join and be a part of something like this, salute to Rob.
I mean, salute to both of you guys. You know what I mean? I say this relatively often, and I don't mean it in a negative way, but we don't get paid to do this show. You know what I mean? Like, we all do this show because we love to do this show. This is our therapy every week. This is a chance for us
definitely my therapy.
For you, for sure. Definitely for me, because I've already had a fucking day and a half today. My wife hit a deer this morning. My whole day's gone sideways. But, this is, part of doing the show for all the years we did it with Shaquille was doing a show with Shaquille's, forget it. You get to hang out with Shaq every week, and then moving that kind of core of hopefully me and you, Harp, onto Horry, and getting to Rob, getting to know you, and becoming like best buddies with you over the last 5 years. This is what we love. I love this. Like, this is every week. This is the one thing that I look forward to no matter what, because I know we're all going to make each other laugh. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to shoot the shit, and we're going to make fun of each other, and it's going to be awesome. And that's my point of bringing all of this up at the top of the show is, if you have been with us over these last 5 years, I think 2026 is going to be a pretty big year for this show. We are starting to put some things together behind the scenes that may take us up a notch. You may be able to come party with this show, if you will, on occasion. It may be in a specific city that is possibly known for the party. So it's without being too cryptic, I think 26 is going to have some good stuff in store for us, yes. and basically means the first 5 years of this was a nice little warm up for what's coming, which I love, because it's a hobby. It's something we all love to do. It's something we all do together every week for fun. And now it could hopefully become something that we get to do on a more regular basis and see each other face to face, which I think is dope. Because I think we've only done, of 244 episodes, we've done 2 where all of us have been in the same room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we've only done 2. And it was the 2 times you were here in Atlanta for NBA playoffs, I think.
Yep.
You were doing NBA TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think we've done a couple of these where we've all been sitting in the same room. So doing more of that this year, I think, would be a welcome addition to the show. So All that said, how's everybody doing? How's everybody go? It's been a crazy week.
It has been.
I'm gonna start with Trae, just because we talked about it a bunch last week. We even had questions in the Friday shoot around for people. Do you think he'll move by the deadline? We're like, oh yeah, I think he'll move by the deadline. And then by the time that show got posted, his ass was in Washington. Like it was done and done. I don't know. And I want to get your take, obviously, Rob, and of course, Harp on this, because I felt a little underwhelmed by what the Hawks got back for him in CJ.
And Corey Kispert.
And Kispert. And, good players, nothing against CJ. I know, and I've had guys like Caleb, friend of the show, reach out and be like, dude, CJ's a good dude. You will like him in Atlanta. I'm not knocking them as people. I just felt like the amount of money and time that you as an organization invested in Trae Young, being a first-round pick, being the face of the franchise and all that stuff, it just was kind of just like a bleh kind of return for him. Am I alone in that thought, or?
I think so. One, I was at the game when he got traded, when the report came through. You saw him on the bench, and as the report came through, what's my guy name that works for ESPN Insider,
McMahon?
Who does all? No, the other one, the higher up.
Shams.
When Shams reported it, you could hear it in the arena. You could hear that everybody kind of got the news, and the news was being shared. You could see the different levels of emotion on people's faces. You could see it on Trae's face. I think Trae found out. He was around dapping people up. He didn't go back to the locker room and take that last walk down the hallway until about less than a minute left in the fourth quarter. And I think, the cameras followed him and knew that was going to be his last walk down that hallway before he was heading off to the nation's capital. So it was an eventful night. And then we're in the media room, like, before Coach comes in, and at that time, you can't say anything about it because the news isn't official, because the team has not reported it.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like, yeah, we want to talk about the game, and people are just kind of dancing around everything. And how was Trae as a teammate? And he's injured. What is it like having him out there still supporting it? And I'm sitting there quiet, like, I don't want to talk about nothing but this trade that happened. And we can't talk about it because it ain't official.
That's weird.
But I'll say this. It's a cash dump. It's a salary dump at this point. Yeah. It is a $49 million salary dump. People can talk about what they could have got for him on the market some years back. And there were some deals that came about that leaked that said, they could have made this deal and made that deal. The point is, Trae's reputation, I think, with some guys or teams around the league probably affected his trade stock. And at this point in time, knowing that where the Hawks are trying to go, obviously building around Jalen Johnson and trying to have enough cap space to see what they can do in the offseason, getting rid of Trae, I won't say getting rid of him, but trading him for some pieces that you don't know whether or not you're going to keep long term. CJ McCollum's 34 years old. Would you keep him for maybe another year at a discounted price?
His contract expiring too?
Yeah. Kispert is 26. You don't know if you want to keep him.
Yeah, when he's healthy,
his contract
he's a good
is
shooter.
expiring.
Yeah.
Right. He's got this year, I think, only left on his deal, and I think a player option for next year. So these guys are not long-term pieces, but this is salary cap relief so that the Hawks can go back into the market and possibly make some bigger moves. Now, we're not going to see how all this turns out into the offseason and what moves need to be made. But the writing was on the wall with Trae when they didn't offer him the extension last offseason.
Yeah.
That no team sits there and say, you know what, we'll wait on a max extension for their superstar player. No team does that without there being some cause for pause.
Rob.
But the Hawks, that told me everything I need to know. Forget what we talked to the GM yesterday via Zoom, and we were able to ask all those questions. We knew it, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I think, the key for me is when a star player is trying to say, hey, I want an extension. The team's like, nah, you ain't giving me an extension. That's writing on the wall right there. And then you wait too long. I think with them, with all the talks and the rumors, the rumor mill, it can kill a player. And then you look at, they had a report of how many GMs, what they thought of Trae Young. And out of all the GMs, I think like maybe one liked him. And so when that happens, when GMs are not on your side, they are the ones that control where you go and if they want you and if you're gonna get paid. And I just think he was just in a bad situation. And also, what didn't happen was the fact how the Hawks were doing so good without him. And then he came back and he lost, and then he was like, oh, he went. Then he left. They started winning in. I was like, oh, dude, your stock is really, really falling. And I think going to a place like Washington is good for him because there's nothing in Washington to keep him from showing and showing everybody what he can do and kind of like raising his stock back up. So I think it was a good situation. And for Atlanta, I think it's not a situation for this year.
No,
I think it's a situation for the next coming years.
Yeah. And you had to get a team. You had to get a team that not only was going to trading for Trae means that you're also, like you said, giving him the extension. So it's not the fact. It's one thing if you could have gotten a good deal while he was he still had years left in his current extension. And I'm pretty sure the Hawks probably looked at that a few years ago, didn't like what was on the market and whatnot, and decided to keep him. But when you're trading him with with an option year left, and you're going to trade for him, you're only going to do that if you're going to give him the extension. And there are not many teams who are going to be willing to invest $200 to $300 million in Trae Young. Some teams don't feel as though he's worth it. That's money that they may want to put somewhere else. The Wizards were the one team that says, you know what? We feel as though this is the superstar we need. This is the guy we want to build around. Him and Alex Sarr, we think they can work well together moving forward. And this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were almost teammates starting to get drafted. They got ricochet, but nonetheless, right. They were borderline teammates. Here, I'm going to give you this one from our buddy E on Twitter who sent me this, which I thought was actually pretty interesting. If I'm doing the math correctly, the Luka and the Trae trades combined only included one first-round pick. Mm-hmm. For two of the highest profile dudes in the league. Meanwhile, Mikal Bridges and Desmond Bane combined for 9 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps. Yep. 5 in a swap for Mikal, 4 in a swap for Desmond. Again, that's not anything. That's not a dig on Mikal Bridges and Desmond Bane. It just seems like both of those guys got moved for far less than you thought maybe you could get back for them. Now, I understand the situation Atlanta was in. The Luka thing, and I know we've talked about it 100 times, I still scratch my head at that.
Well, that's an anomaly.
It's especially now with the news about Anthony Davis and what is it, ligament damage in his hand or something?
Yeah,
and then he's going to be out indefinitely now.
Of course.
So it's like, when you put the whole thing on the board, you're like, you're right. There was only one pick involved in both of those guys, and they were 2 of the highest profile dudes in the league for years.
Yeah.
And then Desmond Bane, Mikal Bridges, 9 picks.
Look, and Rob, I know you agree with this. You are worth what somebody's willing to pay for you.
Exactly.
And if Mikal Bridges, I think Mikal went for 5?
I think that's right. Yeah, 5 and a swap.
Absolutely crazy. And a swap.
4,
and then, like
4
you said,
and a swap for Desmond.
Which is absolutely, in today's
Good
NBA.
players, but.
Yeah. And the way the money works and the way both of their contracts look, back some years ago, that would be deemed as superstar money. Mm-hmm. But now, the $200 million contract is mid-tier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's role
which is
player
crazy
money.
To say.
Yeah.
And some of these draft picks are going to possibly be mid-tier as well. So we see 5 first-round draft picks, but some of these, it doesn't mean that a lot of those will be lottery picks. It just depends on how teams are built as time goes on. So we see the 5 and the 4 and say, ooh-wee, but 5 and 4 draft picks may not necessarily pan out to be a whole lot as time goes on.
Yeah, it's just numbers are weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Very weird. Did we lose you, Rob?
I thought he was just smiling.
No, he's frozen. He's frozen. This is why we need to be in the same room, because his internet is dog.
Yeah.
Dog.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
yeah, we
back.
got you now. He's back.
Okay. You were frozen on my end.
Oh, okay.
Both of us?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Dang, your Wi-Fi affect us all.
That was like Thanos' snap. It was just like everyone's frozen. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think everything is timing, man. You think about how many times guys, when you have that contract, your contract is ending, and all of a sudden, the league is such a copycat league. All of a sudden, small forwards become popular. Two guards become popular. All of a sudden, you that guy like, hey, I'm a small forward. I'm hot. What's not? And then you can get like, probably 10 or 12 million more dollars than you would normally make. And everything is about timing. And I think, and you look at a lot of these players, it's about timing. And I think we talking about Trae, his timing was bad in the situation where he can get, an extension, where he can get traded for another. His value was up, and timing was bad also for the Hawks on the other end because you would like to get someone who's going to make a huge impact on the team when you make a trade. And even though CJ is going to make an impact that we don't even know about, from the locker room to little conversations you have with these other players to try to, make them become better players and things like that, which sometimes becomes overlooked because, well, he's not putting up the numbers that we thought he would. But what is he bringing to the team as far as, leadership, knowledge, and having that voice in the locker room to make these guys get back in line or get back on the right page? So I think, it's going to be interesting to see what happened this summer with the draft and what else Washington can do up there and what the Hawks can do.
Because it's a heck of a draft. I think the one major thing that the Hawks really wanted to hold on to in anything was that pick swap with New Orleans, which is going to be which a lot of people anticipate being the lottery of all lottery picks. It could be the number one pick.
It very well could be. With the way the Pelicans can keep playing.
Right. And I believe, you know what? The Hawks need a little ray of sunshine because that draft a few years ago that they got the number one pick in has to be the weakest. Yeah. And no disrespect to Ricochet.
Hey, he's been good. Ricochet's been real good.
But my Lord, he has had the safest, he may be the safest number one pick in history where there's no pressure.
No expectation. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah. So I don't know.
Oh, that was funny, man. That draft, man. You looking back like
it's the most perfect Atlanta thing ever. Mm-hmm. That's the year that they get the number one. It's perfect. Trae, by the way, we're at number 3 in Washington. So that's pretty cool.
Because I think 11 is retired.
I believe that's correct.
Who the hell were 11 in Washington?
I couldn't remember, but I saw the same thing you did.
Somebody had mentioned it. I forget.
Damn all hell. I can't think of it now. But yeah, I remember seeing the same. Now I don't know if it's true because I browse headlines and I see stuff and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's definitely retired.
Okay. So he's wearing number 3 in Washington. By the way, speaking of the Hawks, they have the Lakers here tonight. Rob, you're not in town, are you? No.
No.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure.
I got. Hey, you see that white door right there?
Oh yeah, that's right. What am I talking about? Yeah, you got dog shit to pick up. What am I talking about?
Elvin Hayes.
Oh yeah, that's right. So
that's what it is.
Lakers are in town. What's up?
No, I'm saying that's who it is.
Elvin Hayes is.
There you go.
Which is rightfully so. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. There you go. Yeah. I was like, I remember seeing that too, and I couldn't for the hell of me remember who it was. But speaking of, so we talked about the Lakers here tonight.
No, the Hawks are in L.A.
I'm sorry, the Hawks are in L.A. tonight.
Yeah, they're on their West Coast swing.
Long-ass road trip, which is going to bring me to today's game, which, by the way, is called Take a Hike. And it's going to be teams that have to travel the furthest to play each other. So you guys should have a fun time with that. We'll get to that. Speaking of the Hawks being in L.A., the Lakers' schedule, I wanted to ask you about this, Rob, just because they're about to hit this point where they're playing one night on, one night off, one night on, one back-to-back, and then one night off, then another night. So crazy little stretch here. And JJ said, we've made the decision 12, 13 days ago. We're not going to do shoot-around in the morning anymore. Part of the process is we have a 41-year-old who shouldn't be on his feet twice a day. That's like what I say about my grandpa. I'm like, can we just bring him dinner so he doesn't have to get up? And we should only rev his engine once. How do you feel about the... Like, did you ever have a stretch where it was like, hey, we're not doing shoot-arounds in the morning?
Yes. Actually, the first time that ever happened was with Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge was like, we're not going to have shoot-around. We're just going to, instead of getting to, you usually get to the gym an hour and a half before. He said, we're going to get to the gym 2 hours and a half. That way we can do, because at the time,
warm up a little. Yeah.
They had that arena underneath the arena. So you could do a whole shoot-around, practice court there and do all that. And it was cool because you think about it, man. It's like you go to sleep, you can sleep all day, you can get rest, you can stay off your feet, you can do your therapy at home or, go, do whatever you need to do. And I don't believe in shoot around. I've never believed in shoot around. I think I don't know who started shoot around. Probably Pat Riley, his crazy ass. But shoot around to me is you want to get up and you go to the arena and you talk to the media. Like, why the hell am I talking to the media? Because you're gonna come and talk to me before the game, and we're gonna talk then. You're gonna ask me the same damn questions. I'm like, no. So I never believed in shoot around. It's just, I don't know who came up with it, but it's the stupidest thing ever because half the time you just up, you slow motion through stuff, you sitting on the sideline eating a breakfast sandwich or something. It's just bullshit to me.
I get it. And by the way, he's not talking about the Friday show. He's just talking about the he's just talking about shoot around in general. I don't know. Part of me looked at it was like, if it's part of your routine, I don't know, maybe this is just me. I'm a creature of habit. So when you take me out of my routine, I feel off kilter. Even if it's something like stupid, like I drive my kid to school in the morning. Days she doesn't go to school, my routine is off. I'm either an hour early, I'm an hour late. Like, I don't know which way is up. I don't have a coffee. Like, for some reason, it just throws me off. And I was thinking from an athlete's perspective, if it's just part of your day-to-day. Now, I get what you're saying. It's very nice to be off your feet for the morning. You know what I mean? Like, you have your day about you. I understand that 100%. But if it's part of your routine, does that not ever offset you in any way?
Also, not really, because you think about this. When you have back-to-back games, you don't have shoot around. And so you just either get up, you eat, go over film in the hotel, and you go back to bed and get off your feet. So I think most guys, athletes are amazing. They can adapt. You can, now you think about, well, now I can carry the basketball, now I can travel, now I can do all the athletes can adapt. And I think most athletes, when it comes to saying shoot around, the discipline. If you have to have discipline, because now there's a lot of guys out there. Oh, we ain't got to shoot around. That means I can hang out to 1 o'clock at night before I go home.
Oh, boy.
So you got to have discipline when it comes to this, man. To stay off your feet and use that as a time to rehab and recruit and refresh your body.
Okay. Yeah. And then the upcoming schedule that we just talked about that they're all over the place with LA is going to be. So you were at the Kings last night. You got the Hawks at home tonight. You got a day off then versus the Hornets. Then a day off, and then you're at Portland, and then versus the Raptors back-to-back. And then a day off the Nuggets, a day off at the Clippers, right down the street, a day off at the Mavs, day off at the Bulls, day off at the Cavs, day off, and then the Wizards and the Knicks back-to-back. So that's a I haven't seen a lot of like one day on, one day off type schedules in a second. And I know that's not, it's not explicitly just for the Lakers. I mean, other teams deal with that kind of scheduling as well, but it's a weird stretch for me to have like back to back and then day to day to day to day and then back to back. It's just a weird little stretch for them.
If you look at the rest of the Lakers schedule, it's like that to the end of the season. It's not just this month. It's the end of the season. And what people don't understand is it's two things, in my opinion, that cause this. It's like you want to start the season early and have no preseason. So now the NBA says, okay, we're going to put the games in. Oh, you know what? Let's throw the NBA Cup in there. Now we got this week off. Oh, you guys All-Star want a week off for All-Star. We're going to throw that in there. And now you want all these days off, but you figure you got to, there's a back end to this.
Yeah.
Now you have all these days off and you start the season early, but the NBA Cup messes with starting the season early. And now you got All-Star. Now, every team is going to be like this. It's like you're going to have these games, it's play off, play off, play off. And and everybody want to talk about load management. This is going to make this, to me, this is going to make a lot of guys now load manage. And it's just going to be bad. It's bad for the NBA.
But this is the nature of the beast. Like,
yes,
there's always the opposite. There's always another side to this coin. Like, we always talk about how, salaries continue to go up, 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 and up. And then one day we'll have $1 billion athlete and we ooh and ah about those things. But the flip side of this is you're going to be on the road. You're going to be flying across the country. You're going to be tired. Like, everything it's a payoff somewhere. So yes, the payoff for being very rich and very wealthy and having these luxuries is you're going to be on the road 6 months out of the year. You're going to be going back and forth. Like, this isn't new, and folk be tired. Yes. And having all the money in the world doesn't mean you don't get tired. But you know what? It's a different kind of tired.
Yeah.
I'd rather have money and be tired than be broke and be tired. That's just me.
Broken,
and
tired
crazy-
now. I mean, what the
Hey, crazy part about
Right.
it, and I think they forget, and know everybody says different areas, more pace to their game now. We would have back-to-back, often back-to-back. They eliminated that. You can't have 2 back-to-backs in a row. So they should be happy that everything now. They also added where, okay, I'm going to San Antonio. I may stay in San Antonio and play 2 games in San Antonio before I move on. And so they're doing a lot of things to make it easier for these guys, but they still complain about, man, we playing too much. Well, stop making all that damn money then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hawks just did that in Toronto recently, where they were in Toronto for 1 game. They may have had a day off in the middle, and then they played Toronto again. So it's 2 games in 3 days at least. And Chicago did that here when they came to Atlanta. It was 2 games in like 3 or 4 days. So to cut down on some of that traveling and all that, the schedule looks like that at times. So they're trying to help the guys out as much as they can.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the schedule is what it is at this point.
Right.
I mean, you got to deal with it. To both of your notes, y'all make $50 million a season. Cry me to sleep in your giant pile of money. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? So, yeah, the only reason I brought it up was JJ going, we've got to consider a 41-year-old. We don't want to get him on his feet twice a day. That, to me, was hysterical. And then, especially, too, now, LeBron with the patch that made its debut, the 23-year patch.
23?
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's just crazy to me that he's the first player in the history of the league to get, like, an in-season celebratory patch. And it's like, this ain't even his final year.
But that's just it. Like, we may never see a guy play 23 years again, especially at the level that he's playing. So
yeah, I know, but still,
Especially at the level. Let's talk about that.
I get it. I get all of that. But it's like, if he came out and said, "This is it for me," put that patch on those jerseys, wear it all year long. The Choctaw silhouette, 23 on it. That's great. He might got 2 more years left in him. And we're putting patches on jerseys?
As the patch trying to make him retire, like, hey, we don't get his patch.
Yeah,
You gotta get the hell on.
Adam's nudging him. Hey, man, I gave you a patch, but
hey, Jenners, guess what's gonna happen next year? They're gonna create a 24 patch. You know what they're gonna? You know what they're gonna implement Kobe in there somehow, some way, and in the memory of Kobe, 24 years on a patch. And guess what? He decided to play 25. It's gonna be a 25 year
and that's
patch.
just it. 25 for me is like a milestone. That's a marker. 23 is fine because he's wearing 23. Okay, fine. But 25 for me is a mark. You want to do a patch at 25? There's a good chance nobody ever plays anything close to 25 years in the NBA.
Yeah, but 23 and 24 are iconic in basketball.
I get it, but you didn't do it for Mike. You know what I mean? You didn't do it for Jordan. He made 23.
Yeah.
Sure.
What's the most years that a athlete has played? Is it football?
In the NBA or just in general?
Just period. Yeah.
I would imagine. I don't know. But I would imagine Brady's
baseball,
up there.
Probably baseball, huh?
I would imagine there's probably baseball players. I mean, guys like Nolan Ryan.
No,
who
Cal
pitched till he
Ripken.
was 45. Yeah. Ripken's up there.
Yeah, Kyle Ripken.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, I could throw a Google on it, but I'm sure.
Probably some punter somewhere.
It's
we're
probably
not
like
thinking
some
about.
hockey player or something who played, hockey. Tough sport,
one of them
though.
played here. Morton Anderson, the kicker.
Oh, yeah. He played for, Morton was like in his.
Wasn't he like the leading scorer all time?
Yeah, but he was like in his mid-late 40s when he hit the field goal that sent the Falcons to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Let's see, what player played the longest in their individual sport? What NBA player played the longest is LeBron.
23 years. Like at the level that because some people saying, well, obviously he's taking a step back. I'm like, hell yeah, he's taking a step back. The man been in the league since he was 17 years old. Like his regression.
Nolan Ryan. 27 years.
27 years. Yep.
That's crazy.
Gordie Howe played professional hockey for 32 seasons.
Damn.
Hockey?
Yeah, hockey. And Martina Navratilova in tennis played from 1975 to 2006.
That's crazy.
So that's quite a run. So those are the ones that top the list on a quick Google search. I'm sure there's probably some we're missing, but I don't know. I mean, look, I think it's cool that they're going to cut the patches off and put them in like packs of Topps cards as giveaways and stuff. I always think that stuff's fun. And that's cool. I just didn't think of anything about because if you're going to do this, why? I mean, where did it come from mid-season? You know what I mean? Like this was, I don't know. To me, it just felt very random. Just very random.
I know I was watching the game last night. I'm like, what is that on his jersey?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Again, it's January 13th. Like, if we're going to do this at the tip of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, dude was hurt, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just, I don't know. It just felt random to me. I didn't know if you guys had a take on it.
They're probably going to do something around us. They must know something we don't know.
And you know what? Part of me thought that too.
Yeah.
Like, does Adam have a tip that he's gonna maybe when we hit postseason, say this is gonna be my last year? The thing is, I don't see LeBron doing that. You know what I mean?
see LeBron wanting his farewell tour.
Yes, I feel like LeBron wants, and I'm not saying this to be petty. I feel like LeBron wants all his flowers, and he's going to announce at the start of the season, "This is my last year in the league." And I will happily take all your gifts and your standing ovations and your farewell tours and your montages and your tributes and anything you want to do. You want to hang my jersey in the rafters because I whooped your ass a certain amount of times? Go crazy. I'm here for it. I don't think he's going to bow out at the end of a year, but that's partly why I was like, well, then why the hell are we doing this patch out of nowhere?
And I'm going to be honest with you.
Does Adam owe him something somewhere? Like, all right, we'll do you a patch. You know?
Well, yeah, he owes him a lot. But at the same time, you want LeBron to want that. You can, however you may feel about LeBron, his ego, whatever, he's all about. So, however some people may feel. If I'm LeBron James and I played at a level for as long as I have, and I'm year 23 or 24, whenever I decide to hang him up, wouldn't you want him to get his recognition? Wouldn't you want the league to honor him every arena he goes into?
When he decides to hang it up, yes, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
A random patch on January 12th makes no sense to me.
Oh, that's just a little memento. That's all.
It's just weird. Maybe it's a deal with Topps or something. Like they go, hey, we're going to give these away. We're going to pay the NBA X amount of dollars. He has to wear them in game to do it.
I guarantee Fanatics probably did something.
Yeah, it's a sponsor deal or something that we don't know about behind the scenes. They're like, oh, he's going to wear these. We're going to give them away in these Topps cards.
You've got to appease the sponsor. You've got to take care of your sponsor.
We had this conversation. Go ahead and clip this part of the show out.
Your sponsors.
Send it on to some people so they can hear that we are all about taking care of the sponsor. All right, let's do this real quick. Did you hear the Jalen Brown rant the other night?
A little bit.
Yes.
Well, I cut it down a little bit. I got it to about a minute. Let me just play you. This was Jalen Brown after the loss to the Spurs the other night, ranting on the refs.
And I hope somebody can just pull up the clips because it's the same shit every time we play a good team. It's like they refuse to make a call and call touch fouls on the other end, and that's just extremely frustrating, bro. Like, you know, like we play hard. We're outplaying our expectations. We compete hard on the defensive end, and they reward the other team with touch fouls, and we go down there and guys are allowed to get away with it. I hope just somebody please pull it up. Every time we play a good team, the inconsistency is crazy. I'll take the fucking fine. Curtis, all them dudes was terrible tonight. I don't care. They can find me whatever they want. But it's crazy. Every time we play a good team, it's the same bullshit. It's hard to win games like that. We shot 4 free throws tonight and lost the game by 4. Not to say that's the whole game, the whole story. We got to be better in spots. I got to be better in spots. But goddamn, like I'm driving to the basket. I'm physical. I don't flop. You know, I don't shy away from contact. I go up strong. I'm athletic. And nothing. I had 0 free throws tonight. The inconsistency is fucking crazy. Give me the fine.
Two things.
Give me the fun.
I need somebody to play that and put it's a specific beat I'm looking for. I don't know whether it's ether or whether it's whatever. I need a fan or a follower to do that and send it to us, number one. Number two, you know what that's the sound of? That's the sound of a man with some money. He put $50,000 aside into a jar and said, here, and I'm just going to rail into all these refs whenever I need to. That's a man with money.
Hey, I'm waiting for Mike Brown to bring up the
telestrator.
iPad.
Like,
hey, look, see, right here.
I brought my laptop to the post game. Let's go ahead and flip through some stuff. Yeah. Mike Brown got a PowerPoint. He's ready. Yeah, no, he's ready.
That's a man with some money right there, boy.
That's a man frustrated, man.
Yeah.
So look, hey, just because we don't have JT, We playing above expectations. You better give us the calls. We deserve it. And rightfully so. I mean, it frustrates me so much now where these guys now know how to just touch the body and fall back, and the refs are giving them the call, and it's just bad, man. I'm like, dude, we don't want to see free throws. We want to see a guy, fighting, getting the rebound, going back up, taking the contact and scoring, and not just, okay, I'm gonna just hit him and throw it towards the basket and then go shoot free throws. It frustrates me so much to watch the NBA sometimes because of these calls.
Well, and then Jalen is on the opposite side of that. He's going I don't shy away from contact. I go to the basket hard. He shot 0 free throws in that game. Boston shot 4 the whole game. The Spurs shot 20. The 4 free throws came in the fourth quarter alone, and they are the lowest free throw attempts in a game in franchise history in Boston. So
probably NBA history too.
4 in a game is unheard of, and he's not wrong in that he's the type of player that doesn't shy away from contact. He's a pretty physical player, and the fact that he didn't get the line once, and that the Spurs got the line 20 times is crazy because to your point, Rob, you're in a league where you're getting so many ticky-tack calls on fouls nowadays. The slightest bit of contact, you're at the line. Yet he didn't get any in that game. So I feel where he's coming from. To your point, Harp, he's got money to spend, so he didn't give a shit. He's just like, here we go. Ready? Here's a check for $50K, and I am going to rip into everybody.
Yep.
I have not heard someone go in that hard on the refs, though, in quite a while.
That's the thing. Yeah.
It's been quite a while since I've heard someone go ahead, find me, and strap in, because here we go. So,
but I will say this about Jalen Brown. Jalen is the type of player, he's a very intelligent dude. Not just on the floor, but when it comes to a lot of his moves off the floor, businesses, always being at the forefront when it comes to being a free thinker and thinking for yourself and not having really to depend on so many other people to get what you need to get done. Yeah. And so when it comes to him speaking his mind, that's frustration. So when you have somebody that loves to speak their mind, and they get frustrated, how much I got to put to the side? It's going to cost me anywhere between 50 to 75. Cool, I got it. And let me say what I got to say. That's all it is.
I'm like, that. This, at the end of the day, that $35K going to go to some charity. So
it's more than that.
Yeah, no, he's going to
catch. No, it's on 35.
Is that it?
That's 35?
Yeah.
A minute and a half of calling refs out by name?
He just got fined $35K. That's all.
That's all it was?
Wow.
Yeah, $35K.
I thought that was going to be 50 to 75 easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he got off easy.
He sure did. Yeah. He talked that cop into a citation instead of a speeding ticket, man. He was like, just cite me, man. I'm good. All right, listen, I'm going to give you also the craziest story of the week, which I didn't even really hear about.
This was crazy.
And I had no clue, and I wanted to find out if you knew anything about it because it happened at a freaking Lakers game. Dennis Schroder has been suspended 3 games for confronting and attempting to strike another player. Mm-hmm. And the player in question, this happened on December 28th at Crypto after the Kings lost to the Lakers. The player in question here is Luka Doncic. He came, according to reports, I think this is Chris Haynes reported this, 40 minutes after the buzzer, Schroder went down after Doncic and telling Doncic he can't call him a bitch on the court and pretend everything's fine off the court. The NBA ruled that Schroder attempted to strike Doncic. Lakers center DeAndre Ayton tried to drag Schroder away from the competition while Doncic attempted to exit as security intervened. Schroder was eventually escorted to the team bus as Kings coach Doug Christie and several teammates sought answers about what happened. Holy shit.
But what added on to that, the other report is about what Luka said. He said, you should have took that contract. Mm-hmm. I think that's reported what also Luka said. Like, we all know Dennis Schroder missed out on money, a nice piece of money to go sign somewhere else.
Okay.
And Luka was like, yeah, you should have took that contract.
But
what are you talking about? That Laker contract he should have taken.
Yeah, that's the one where he fumbled the bag. But here, but isn't that all fair game? Like, none of that's off limits, right?
Well,
in the heat of a game, I guess if you're talking money.
Well, the Schroder problem was don't try to act like you my friend and then talk shit on the court and then didn't try to be my friend again. That's what he was like. So no, ain't none of this back and forth stuff. But that's the NBA though. They're all friends.
Did you work this game, by the way?
Actually, no, I didn't even know. When I heard that, I was
Oh,
like,
that's right.
what?
You were off. I
What?
forgot. You told me you took off for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
and I was like, when we heard about it, we was like, what? When? When did this happen?
I didn't even hear about it until like a day or two ago. And I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, what? Like, how did this? I don't know. Maybe I just missed this story, but I didn't hear anything about this till a couple days ago. And I did not know.
Crypto, staples, this might be the only arena that's had more shit to happen.
Yeah, wouldn't the Chris
off
Paul
the
shit
court
go down behind the
Chris
scenes too
Paul
here?
thing.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So
All right.
they wait for you to go off the court. And then you think about the Doug Christie, Rick Fox thing that happened in the back when Doug's
right.
wife jumped in.
That's
so
right.
There's a lot of stuff that happened off the court, man.
Dude, I need
in those hallways.
If the arena isn't doing a behind-the-scenes documentary at some point of some of this shit, that they're missing out because there's stuff to talk about there. Let me give you the insane stat of the week, and then we'll do our national championship game picks. Big shot of the week, and then we're going to play That's a Hike. The insane stat of the week. I can't believe this is actually true. The 2025-26 Kings offensive rating is higher than the 2000-2001 Kobe, Shaq, Robert Horry Lakers. They have a higher offensive rating. Sacramento is at 8-30. They have the worst offensive rating in the NBA right now. They're at a 108 offensive rating, which would have led the NBA in 2000 and 2001.
Yeah, different league.
It's just based on the Lakers. 2001 Lakers, Rob, your team, offensive rating was 107. It goes to show you how well the offensive rating basically means points scored per 100 possessions. And there's been a massive uptick, obviously, in the last couple of decades with the high volume of three-point shots, the emphasis on analytics and efficiency. You don't see the big defensive slugfests that you used to see back in the day where if you got to 100 points, that was a big deal. Nowadays, it's like every game, both teams are clipping 110, 120 without really much of an issue. We saw, what was it, the Hawks game a week or two ago? It was like
150.
150 to 150 something. I mean, ridiculous numbers. But yeah, the 2026 Sacramento Kings, higher offensive rating than your Lakers team with Shaq and Kobe. That's that number's ridiculous to me.
Well, we know somebody ain't winning the championship that year. I mean, the Kings are not winning the championship.
No, they're not. They are not.
Hey, even though the way they looked last night, all the threes they made against the Lakers, they look good, but that's just one every blue moon.
They've had flashes of it at best this year. And I think, obviously, did we all pick the Kings as a play-in team? I think I may have. Harp's doing the...
I did.
I think I did, too.
I did.
I think I picked Sacramento as a play-in team.
I know y'all both smoking the same stuff.
We are, but I think I had way higher expectations for Sacramento than where they've been this year. But
see,
what are you doing? You looking
7,
it up?
8. Yeah, I had them I had them to play in.
I may have had them at 9 or 10. I don't even remember.
I had them at 10.
I'll have to go look, but yeah. So it just it just goes to show you when you want to do apples to oranges about the old school NBA versus the new school NBA. That number alone shows you can't compare today's stuff to even 20 years ago stuff. It doesn't. The two are so, the league has changed so much.
Context matters.
Yeah, I would love to see if you go back and compare a game and look at the fouls called in that era versus this era. How many more free throws would probably been shot in that era? Because you think about now, the contact, you can just hit someone and shoot it, foul. You think about all the times I've seen Kobe cause the contact and shoot it. It's just a clear space and there's no foul. But now clearing space is a foul. And it's just weird how that's like, think about it, that's 10 extra points right there at the free throw line, maybe
probably more.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're getting to the line 15, 20 times a night.
Yeah.
Every bit of 10 to 20 points extra on the So yeah, that's something to look into though. Very interesting idea. I mean, but we grew up in the era of watching guys hand check. I mean, it's like it's just you can't do that shit anymore. It's just a different league. All right, let's do the national championship game picks, then we're gonna do Big Shot quickly. So here we are. Let's just look back at last week.
Say, Ole Miss let me down.
Hey, they did. They sure did. The game was Miami versus Ole Miss. Miami was a 3.5 point dog. Harp finally got on board with the Canes.
Finally.
Picked the Canes. I picked the Canes. Rob picked Ole Miss. Miami held on to win that game 31-27.
Great game.
In what was a slugfest of a game. And Miami made like 100 mistakes and should have lost that game like 5 times and somehow found a way to win it. And then
Miss made a lot of mistakes too.
And they did. They made a lot. And then I couldn't even watch this. Oregon, Indiana.
I was there.
Pick 6 on the first play of the game. It was 21-0 before you even blinked.
Hey.
Indiana dismantled Oregon.
Man, I there's no lie. I thought I was having a brain aneurysm because I looked up like no, because every time I looked up, the quarterback was fumbling the ball. I'm like, did I just see that shit? I'm like, it was like, what the hell, man?
Dude,
and I'm like, this is no lie. I thought it was something wrong with my TV. I said, I'm like, but no, that's a different guy who gets recovered that. It was the weirdest thing, man. It was like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah, I mean, and there was all this talk too about Oregon's defense going into this game, and can they put the clamps on Indiana? Hung 56 on them. 56-22 was the final.
Fernando Mendoza doubled down on why he's the Heisman Trophy winner.
Dude.
I'm in the building.
Passes, woo.
Yeah, I'm in the building, and I promise y'all, and this is before I even get into the bins. Riding around the city wasn't nothing but a sea of red. You saw specks of green, but when you got in that bins, it had to be generously, and this is generously, 85-15, probably swayed more to Indiana. It was a sea of red in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Because they know this is history. They'll never be here again. So they gotta enjoy this ride. Because it ain't gonna happen next year.
Well,
it's gonna be split down in Miami.
That's not necessarily.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, though. Just because this is technically a home game for the Canes, they have no control over the ticket allocation. So tickets to get in the door right now, I think, are like $4,000 or something like that. Like you can't get in the building for less than $4,000 right now. And you know these Indiana people, to your point, Rob, if they've got it, they're spending it. Because you never know when you're going to see this again. They've never been here before. There's nothing promised. Now, I'm going to say they were good last year. They weren't as good as they are now, but they were good last year. Signetti has an opportunity to keep that team good for a minute. So if they recruit and they get some transfers, I've seen them pick up a couple of transfers.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a shot. Indiana's got a shot to be right back in this situation again next year. Now, will they make the title game? I have no idea.
Nah, I don't. I'm doubling down on that. That ain't happening because you got to think about. Watching Mendoza. He is why. I know the defense is pretty damn good.
Defense is good, but you're right. He's the Heisman Trophy winner.
Some of his passes, man. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, the window is like this, and he puts it right there, man. And that receiver, I don't know that number. I think it's number 80. Yeah, 88, 80. Oh my goodness. He's made himself into the first round too. So these guys the Indiana team's damn good.
I'll also say this, and I meant to send it to the group chat, and I sent it to Rob. I also ran into Mark Cuban on the sideline.
Oh boy,
he's obviously an Indiana alum, and everybody was hovering around him. All the news reporters wanted interviews and stuff with him. I know there's a reporter out there who came up with an interesting idea as far as, we talked about how expensive those tickets are, and tickets should never be that expensive, but they are because this is a business. She said that Mark Cuban, being the billionaire that he is, a section of maybe a smaller section for some of your Indiana alum who like to be there, buy up some of these tickets and say, hey, if y'all want to come to the game, I bought so many of these tickets. Whoever can reach out to me or whatever and would like to go to the game, once the tickets are gone, they're gone. But I bought so many tickets. I want to start giving these to Alabama fans or Alabama alum who may not be able to. Indiana. I got Alabama on my mind. But Indiana, who may not be able to afford it.
I know, big dog.
And I think that was a good idea. Shout out to Bailey Jackson. I think that's her name. But she came up with that idea that maybe Cuban should buy up some tickets and then part them off.
It's always easy to come up with some idea when you ain't got to spend your own money.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
If you got $1 billion, yo man, I got this house over here. I think you should pay for it, so I don't have to pay rent no more, dog.
I got all kinds of ideas from Mark Cuban's money. Yeah, I got all kinds of ideas from Mark Cuban.
But I'm just, that was an idea that I heard, and I don't know if Mark Cuban's ever feeling that kind of generosity. He may not, whatever, because I know he puts a lot of money into that program. But just saying.
All right, well,
I'm not an Indiana alum, so it don't matter to me.
You're 100% right, Rob. That's where it should go. If it's going to go anywhere, put it in the NIL. Because you're going to have to pay these guys to be significant again. You're just going to have to, especially when you see reports that friggin' Miami offered Ty Simpson $6.5 million to stay, and he's going to the NFL draft, and they're like, hey, if you're transferring, we'll pay you $6.5 million to come here. Like, that's the kind of money that's being thrown around right now. So, yeah, if you got money to spend, throw it in the NIL.
Ty Simpson better take his ass and get that $6 million.
Oh no, he's going to the NFL, which I think is bananas because he's going to make $700,000 to sit on a bench for 3 years.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well.
All right, real quick, let's get your pick. Number 10 Miami versus number 1 Indiana for the national championship. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Current line: Indiana's laying 8.5. I will tell you that Miami's spread against Ohio State was bigger than this. And they won by 10.
It's I'm hard because I don't know how Miami's defense is. If they're at the end of the game they're healthy. They're healthy.
Mario gave an update today. There's only one guy on defense I think that he's going to have out for this game. Other than that, his corners are healthy. Messidor's healthy.
You got one that's going to be suspended for the first half.
Yeah, you got the guy suspended for the first half, Xavier Lucas, one of your cornerbacks. But you'll have him for the second. You've got O.J. Frederick back, who's one of your better corners. So everybody's healthy. Offensively, I think Lofton is the only guy that's questionable right now.
Yeah, I think I'm out. I think I'm going to have to take Indiana just because Miami, it's a lot. You in Miami, your players, a lot of distractions there. So I think Indiana is, they still in the Hoosier State, and I'm taking Indiana just because they got less distractions. I think they'll win.
Okay. I mean, they've had distractions all season. It ain't like they just now touched down in Miami.
They live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but more people come there now because of this.
Yeah, I'll say this. It is something about what Indiana is doing, and the fact that they don't turn the football over. I think they had 8 turnovers all season long.
Yeah, they're a near flawless program this year, which is kind of crazy.
I'm going to and slight because I think this is going to be a close game. I thought that about Oregon, and they blew the doors off them. But I'm going to take Indiana to close this thing out. I think Fernando Mendoza is not done, and for all of the pass rush that Miami has, in which they have an elite pass rush. I think Indiana and Fernando may be able to find some of these holes in the defense and might be able to pick them apart, especially at the right time of the game. So I'm going to roll with Indiana to win it all. And Rob, we know who you're going with.
Well, I mean, look, my this is like my other girlfriend. Yeah, my other podcast is a Miami Hurricanes podcast.
Yeah.
So, look, I know a mountain about the Canes because this is literally all we do all year long on the other show. I think their defense is chronically undersold. I think Corey Heatherman, who's their defensive coordinator, has completely changed the look of that defense. Their linebackers can cover.
I thought Taylor was a defensive.
No, Taylor's defensive line coach.
He's a defensive line coach.
Defensive line coach. Their D-line trumps, I think, Indiana's offensive line by like 6 inches and 70 pounds or something like that. All those guys are significantly bigger. Now, Indiana's guys are quick. Their defensive guys are very quick. I think Miami's offensive line is going to hold up, I hope. Can they run the football against that Indiana defense? I don't know. But Miami, I've seen when they want to this year, get super creative. Now, they like to run to the A-gap a lot. That might blow up in your face early. So if that happens, then you're going to have them on their heels. Which is kind of what happened a little bit against Ole Miss. I think Miami's secondary can cover. I really do. I believe it. I'm going to go with the Canes, and I'm picking with my heart and with my head on this. I feel like Miami's been undercut at every corner this year. They were supposed to get blown out by A&M in College Station. They were supposed to get torched by Ohio State. They didn't have half a shot against Ole Miss, even though they went into that game as a favorite for the first time. And I've seen everybody in the universe picking Indiana. I think Miami loves that. I think those guys play hard with a chip on their shoulder. I think Mario shows them, look, nobody on the planet is giving you a chance in this game. And I think that they're gonna show you something that maybe Indiana hasn't seen. And I've said it all year, and I've been wrong over and over and over. I am waiting for the Indiana bubble to pop. I've said it 50 times, and I've been wrong 50 out of 50. I'm hoping this is the week. I'm pulling for this to be the week that the Indiana bubble pops and Miami wins the national championship.
I want the Canes to win, but I just feel like this is just a team of destiny.
Indiana is way, way, way too good. And it's going to take everything Miami's got to even have a shot here. So
they're well coached.
If you look at Indiana, each game from the Ohio State game, winning the championship, they've gotten better and better. Each game they've gotten better and better. Where's the peak? Have they hit the peak yet, or is there another level they can go?
I don't know, and that's the question. Now I've seen them struggle against Ohio State. You know, Ohio State had all kinds of issues in that game, left many points on the board, easily could have beat them in that game. Miami beat Ohio State by 10. That's the common opponent here. I watched Indiana struggle against Penn State, who was horseshit this year. I watched them struggle against Iowa, who was horseshit this year. So it's not like they've been flawless in the sense that they've always dismantled everybody. They've just hit this run the last few weeks where they have torn people to pieces.
Right.
And left nothing left. I mean,
and it's not so much of they're talented, but like I said, it also goes back to being disciplined.
They are
when you're a disciplined football team and you don't generate a lot of penalties.
Yeah, you don't have false starts.
Turn the
You're
ball
not playing
over.
behind the sticks constantly. Yeah, no, it makes life a lot easier.
You are constantly moving forward and taking care of the church's money. So that's the name of the game. You cannot turn the football over and you cannot hurt yourself with penalties. And those are two things that they don't do.
Yeah, it's true. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited for it. Next time we meet, we convene this meeting of the minds. We'll have a national champion, and we'll see if my bubble burst or not.
I'll say this. I guess one of the good things about possibly Miami winning the title is seeing how absolutely crazy Michael Irvin is going to get, because he's been crazy already. I would like to see him lose his absolute mind.
Yeah. He's going to do all the cocaine.
Well, I think he's been kind of.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Rob, what you doing the podcast? Are those guys going down? Are they already in Miami, right?
No, they're in there. Yeah, they're in Miami. They're all trying to get into the game, but tickets are dumb. Even and they've got connections to the administrators down there and stuff. They can't.
Yeah.
It's like the World Series.
Yeah.
You lose all control as the host stadium. So they have no control over who gets these tickets. Right. They're just going to the highest bidders. There's allocations for season ticket holders. I've been told some of those Miami season ticket holders are selling their season tickets because Indiana people are coming in going, we'll pay you 3 times the face value. And they're like, well, I really want to see this, but in that case, here you go. Yeah. So, I really don't know. I don't know how that crowd's going to look. I hope Miami represents at least in the game as far as the crowd goes. I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of red, much like Atlanta. I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of red in Miami. All right, real quick, big shot, and then we're going to play the game.
Yeah.
Big shot of the week is going to go to Kevin Nazemi and Dave Anderson. Here is why these two gentlemen are getting big shot of the week, and I want you to bear with me for a second. This is a 30-year journey. 30 years ago, Kevin was 11 years old. He wanted to interview the President of the United States for a class project. He was in Missouri at the time. He called. He sent letters. He called the White House every day till he eventually got on the phone with a guy named Dave Anderson, who happened to be a junior staffer. In a meeting with President Clinton, who was the president at the time, he mentioned it. Clinton agrees to do the interview with this 11-year-old kid. He gets the interview. It was supposed to go 8 minutes long. It ran a half an hour.
Wow.
They ended up doing like all kinds in Missouri, all kinds of specials on Kevin, all this stuff. He's 11-year-old who got to interview the president. Here, fast forward 30 years. He's gone to MIT. He's gone to Harvard Business School. He founded 4 startup companies. He made good on the American dream. He's made a nice little piece of money. And out of the blue one day, Dave Anderson, the junior staffer at the White House who 30 years ago got him to interview the president, got a letter from Kevin explaining that both of Anderson's kids, Noah and Maddie, have had their college tuition fully paid. So
Wow.
this kid, 30 years after this guy did right by him, came back and paid this guy's 2 kids' college tuition.
Wow.
Fully paid all the way through. Your kids are taken care of on me for believing in me 30 years ago when I was an 11-year-old kid.
Kevin remembered and did this? Wow, that's
Remembered
crazy,
and
man.
brought it all the way back. And I think that's just super, super cool.
Where did their kids go to college?
Didn't say. Didn't disclose in the story where they go. But both of their college tuitions are paid. Courtesy of a kid that, again, credit to him as a kid getting an interview with the president, but to the guy who took a shot at him and said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pitch this to President Clinton and see what he thinks.
Hey,
And
he can
bam.
only say no, right?
And he turned into a huge thing. So
Yeah.
big shot of the week to Kevin for bringing it back home and doing right by the guy who did right by
That
him.
was like a what? Thinking that's a $600,000 interview probably, depending on where you go to school.
No, every bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We started to do the math on college tuition, and I think Jana's going to be homeschooled. That's what I think. The kid, you're going to grow up learning what I know. I'm sorry. I hate to burden you with that, but that's where we're going to draw
Poor
the
child.
line here. Yeah, poor child. She's going to know a lot about NBA stuff and random college football stats, and she's going to be like, why is this all I know? Well, I don't know, kid. This is what you know, though. All right, it's game time. This game is called That's a Hike. We have Atlanta in LA tonight. That is a haul of a West Coast trip just to play a game or two. In honor of that, I'm going to give you 2 teams that had to play on the road this year. You guys just have to tell me who traveled further to play this game. Okay? So we're going to start with the Chicago Cubs, who had to travel from Chicago to Tokyo, Japan, to play the Dodgers at the start of the 2025 season. That was opening day this year. Or we can go the Seattle Seahawks, who had to go from Seattle to Munich, Germany, to play the Tampa Bay Bucks this season. So who had the further hike? Was it the Chicago Cubs to Tokyo or the Seattle Seahawks to Germany? We'll start with Rob.
Taking a Germany trip.
Rob thinks Germany is further. All right, Harp. Who had to travel further? The Cubs to Tokyo or the Seahawks to Munich?
I'm going to say the Seahawks to Munich,
You're
too.
both going Germany.
I'm looking
Seattle
at
to Munich, 4,850 miles. Chicago to Tokyo, 5,550 miles. So you're both wrong on that one.
Dang.
Tokyo a little further from Chicago. All right, number 2. Let's go to the NBA. The Cleveland Cavaliers had to go to Paris, France, to play the Brooklyn Nets this year as part of the international games. So Cleveland to Paris. Or was it the Dallas Mavericks, who had to travel to Abu Dhabi to play the Minnesota Timberwolves? So the question is, who's further there? Cleveland to Paris or Dallas to Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Everyone's going Abu Dhabi. Cleveland to Paris, 3,950 miles. Dallas to Abu Dhabi, 7,900 miles.
Once you
talking
said
about the
Abu
Middle
Dhabi,
East.
I was
Almost
like, yeah,
twice
that's
the
far.
trip.
Yeah, I've been to Abu Dhabi from Houston.
Abu
That's just
Dhabi
far.
is a haul. I had no clue. Holy crap. All right, so you both get a point on that one. All right, let's go to the NFL. The Los Angeles Rams had to travel from LA to Frankfurt, Germany. Another German thing to play the Patriots this year. Or was it the San Francisco 49ers who had to go from San Fran all the way to London, England to play the Jaguars this year? So who had to go further? The Rams to Frankfurt or the Niners to London? Who had the further
Rams.
trip? Rob says Rams.
Rams went to Germany, right?
They did. They went to Frankfurt,
Rams.
Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rams.
Everyone's going Rams. Now, you have to account for the fact that San Francisco not only had to go to London, they had to fly across the entire United States
But I'm
to
thinking,
get that way. So here's the answer. You both went Rams. San Francisco to London, 5,350 miles. LA to Frankfurt, 5,000 800 miles. So yeah, it was about 500 miles greater. You both got it right.
Yeah.
Because we just said
Rob's doing the math in his head, which is hysterical. If you're watching us on YouTube, Rob's got like a map of the world in front of him, and he's invisibly pointing to locations in his brain. It's pretty damn funny.
I'm like,
Rob's like, all right, so we're here, time zone here, you'll fly here. Okay. All right, let's do number 4. I'll go back to the NBA. This is regular season games, so no more overseas craziness. Who had the further trip here? The LA Lakers traveling to Miami to play the Heat, or the Miami Heat, who had to travel to Portland to play the Trailblazers?
Oh, Portland.
All right, everybody thinks Miami to Portland. Miami to Portland, 3,262 miles. LA to Miami, 2,735 miles. So yeah,
You got to take into
Portland.
account how south Miami is.
Miami's
Those two
very
furthest
south.
points. Yeah.
So LA, and then you just got to go.
you got this also Portland and being in the Northwest.
Yes.
Further
Far.
north. Further north. Very
Yeah.
good. Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5. Let's do some college sports. How about the University of Hawaii, who had to travel to New Jersey to play Rutgers? Or the Anchorage, Alaska hockey team, who had to travel from Anchorage, Alaska to Massachusetts to play Boston College. So Hawaii to New Jersey, or Anchorage, Alaska to Boston, Massachusetts?
Anchorage. That's up there.
I'm taking Hawaii.
All right, Rob's going Hawaii. Arb's going
Maybe
Hawaii.
I'm wrong. I don't know.
Honolulu to Piscataway, New Jersey, 5,020 miles. Anchorage to Boston, 4,300
Dang, yeah,
miles. So,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
Rob, yeah.
Because you got to think about Hawaii is a 5-hour flight from LA.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. You're right.
And you don't realize it, too, till you look at a map at how in the middle of just nothing Hawaii is.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, my God, you guys are in the middle of nowhere out there. All right, last.
Hawaii is a 5-hour flight away from LA?
It's pretty damn far.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, you get to Cuba faster, I think.
So you're telling me
100%.
Atlanta? So it's the same distance as Atlanta is from LA, basically.
It's probably, it's probably about the same distance, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, probably the same. Maybe a little bit closer. But all right, last one. Back to the NBA. This is, again, regular season. Who had to travel further here? Who had the longer hike? The New York Knicks traveling to Sacramento to play the Sad Sack Kings, or the Toronto Raptors traveling to LA to play the Sad Sack Clippers. So, who had the longest Sad Sack trip here? Was it New York to Sacramento or Toronto to LA?
That's close.
I'm going to say...
It's very close.
I'm going to say...
really close.
I'm going to say New York to Sacramento.
I was going to say New York to Sacramento. I think it's probably about 100 miles difference, maybe.
Pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Toronto to LA, 2,175 miles. New York to Sacramento, 2,600 miles. So yeah, it's a difference of about 400 miles.
Yeah,
give or take.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just New York. Toronto is, you don't realize, a little further inland
Yeah.
than New York is. So you don't think
Yeah.
about that sometimes. But yeah, so that's a hike. So anyway, that's this week's game.
Yeah, 'cause
how many of those cities, Rob, have you been to?
All of them.
Have you? You've been to like Munich, Germany, and Frankfurt and stuff like that?
Uh-huh.
Wow, good job.
That man be outside of playing. That man, the NBA sent him everywhere.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, what am I talking about?
Yeah.